Hi there. My name is Eric McDonald, and welcome to the final virtual concert in the Library Arts Center Summer Virtual Traditional Music Family Series. Thanks for being here. Hope you've been enjoying watching all of these concerts as much as we've loved bringing them to you. And I hope you've learned a ton about traditional music. Today, I'm going to sing you mostly songs from Ireland and Scotland. And I want to focus on the idea of the feeling of home. I know, obviously, we've all been spending a lot of time at our homes for a good while. And coming up soon, it's possible maybe you're going back to school or you might already be at work, and you might be seeing that as a relief. You might be kind of sick of being at home. That's understandable. But I wanted to take this opportunity to remind us all how great it is to be at home and find the things that make us feel good about home and that we love. So Ireland and Scotland have, as cultures, had to work really hard to do this over their history. And there's a lot of songs in their traditional music about this. So we're going to sort of focus on that and explore it a little bit. And this first song we're going to sing is one that comes from the county of Clare in Ireland, which is in the southwest of Ireland, so sort of in the bottom left, my left, your right corner on a map. And it's called the Cliffs of Dune. Farewell to Dune, farewell for a while, and to all the kind neighbors I'm leaving behind. My soul never rests till it rests in the clay, on the high rocky shores round the cliffs of Dune. Take a view across the Shannon, strange things you'll see there, like the high Rocky Mountains on the west coast of Clare. The hares and the rabbits, wherever they're seen, they're digging holes for their homes round the cliffs of Dune. It's a fine sight to see 'em on a long summer's day, watching all the wildflowers that never decay. The hares and the rabbits, wherever they're seen, they're digging holes for their homes round the cliffs of Dune. Farewell to Dune, farewell for a while, and to all the good people I've left with a smile, to the streams and the rivers where lately I've been, on the high rocky slopes round the cliffs of Dune. You can travel far, far from your own native home, far away o'er the mountains or far o'er the foam. But of all the fine places that ever I've been, there's none to compare to the cliffs of Dune. So, as you can see, many of the songs in Ireland really focus on how much they love their home. And part of the reason for this is that sometimes when people go through difficult things, it makes them connect with a place more. And in Ireland, they went through what we call the Troubles, which included the famine. There was very little food, and there was a lot of space and a lot of people. So this kind of struggle helped them connect to the homeland, and they had to work to make life good, and that made them feel good. So that's what a lot of those songs are about. In that song, you probably heard me mention the hares and the rabbits. And I would guess that you probably know about rabbits. You've probably seen them near your house. But I'd be very surprised if you've seen a hare. And the reason for that is they don't come from New England or the U.S. really much, where we are. They come from, among other places, Scotland and Ireland. And if you don't know the difference, hares and rabbits are very similar animals, which is why we talk about them together a lot. But hares are much, much larger. They have much longer ears, and they have huge back legs that are strong and fast. And that's what they're known for, their speed and strength. And they can be as big as some dogs. And their speed is often compared to greyhounds, which is, if you don't know, is a type of dog that's known for being very, very fast. So I want to sing you a song right now about a very special hare. This is a hare that comes from Cregan, which is in the county of Derry, or Londonderry, in the north of Ireland now. So we started in the southwest, down in County Clare, and now we're going to move up to the north. And this is a very special hare for a couple of reasons. One, she was pure white, which was very rare. And she was also just particularly tricksy and crafty. And because of this, she gained a reputation, and a lot of celebrity-type hunters who wanted recognition would come and try and capture her for the glory and prestige that would come with that. So they brought all their fancy hunting dogs and all of their fancy hunting equipment, and they went out into the lowlands of Cregan and tried to capture this hare. But she knew the land, and she knew her homeland, and she was able to escape all of their attempts. And that's what this song is sort of in tribute to. So this is called The Cregan White Hare. In the lowlands of Cregan there lived a white hare, as swift as the swallow that flies through the air. You can tramp the world over, but none to compare to the pride of all Cregan, that bonny white hare. One clear autumn morning, as you would suppose, the red golden sun or the green mountain rose, Barney Conway came down, and he did declare, this day I'll put an end to the bonny white hare. So he searched through the lowlands and down through the glens, all among the wild ditches where the white hare had ends, till at last coming down o'er the heather so fair, from behind the wild thistle out jumped the white hare. So the lead he let fly, and his dogs he set to, who as fast as the wind o'er the green mountain flew. But his dogs soon came back, and it made Barney sigh, for he knew that the white hare had bid him goodbye. Now we're some jolly sportsmen down here from Pomeroy, from Cookstown, Dungannon, and likewise the Moy. With our pedigree greyhounds we've traveled from far, and we've come down to Cregan in our fine motor car. Well, into the lowlands lands these huntsmen did go, in search of the white hare they looked high and low, till at last Barney Conway from a bog bank so rare, he cried out to the huntsman, there lies the white hare. So they called up their greyhounds from across the green lea, Barney Conway and the huntsmen both jumped high with glee. It was there on the bog bank all gathered around, 7 dogs and 9 men did that poor hare surround. It's no wonder the white hare did tremble with fear, as she stood on her hind legs and she raised her big ears. As she stood on her hind legs with one gallant spring, she jumped over the greyhounds and broke through the ring. Well, the chase it went on, it was a beautiful view, as fast as the wind o'er the green mountain flew. But those pedigree greyhounds, they didn't run far, they came back and went home in their fine motor car. Then another man came, and you all know him well. His name is Mick Kelly with the bonny black bell. Oh, in search of the white hare today I'll have fun. I'll bet 50 to 1 my black bell has her turn. 5 turns the hare got then from bonny black bell, and the 6th one was given round John Hockey's well. It was there we lost sight of the hare and the dog, until 10 minutes later they came o'er the black bog. Well, that chase it went on, it was great for to see. The white hare and the black dog both roamed high and free, till she traveled to Esker where she knew the lands well, and to bonny black bell there she soon bid farewell. Oh, and now to conclude and to finish this rhyme, I hope you'll forgive me for singing all this while. If there's any amongst you from Carrickmore fair, you can raise up this song for the bonny white hare. So we should think about what makes us feel home. What gives us the sense of connection or familiarity with a place or a person or a thing that makes it feel so much like ours. Lots of things could do. One obvious thing would be spending a lot of time in a place, especially while you're growing up. That can develop enough of a sense of familiarity that it becomes home. Another thing I'd like to mention is that if you do a lot of hard work in a place, that can develop a home-like connection as well. And in the past, one of the most likely places that you would have seen this kind of connection would be on a ship and with sailors. If you've ever been on a schooner or a ship that, a sailing ship, you'll know that it's a ton of work just to get through the day. Sun up to sundown, you're pulling ropes, you're weighing anchor, you're scrubbing the deck, you're shouting across to your crewmates. It's nonstop. In the hot heat, in the rain and bad weather, in the salt spray, it's just never ending, and you have to do it just in order to get through. But by doing so, sailors knew that the ship also provided for them. It fed them, it sheltered them when they needed it, and it took them where they wanted to go. And the other thing is they were going to lots of foreign and unfamiliar places, So having the sense of familiarity on the ship strengthened that home-like connection. And it became so strong for them that often they started referring to the ships as if they were people and developing a relationship with them like that. And this is also reflected in a lot of traditional songs, like this next one. This is a song that comes from Northumbria. Northumbria is an old name for England, but today it's just a territory in the country of England. But it's a territory that has its own culture. So it has its own history and musical instruments and traditional music, even its own language. So it's very unique. But it's nestled at the very, very northernmost tip of England, just literally at the border of Scotland with the ocean on the other side. So it can't help but be influenced by these two large countries on either end. And therefore it shares a lot of qualities. So this song is about a ship from Northumbria. It's called The Rose of Allandale. Oh, the morn was fair, the sky was clear, no breath came over the sea, when Mary left her highland home and wandered forth with me. Though flowers decked the mountainside and fragrance filled the vale, by far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allandale. Sweet Rose of Allandale, sweet Rose of Allandale, by far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allandale. Wherever I wandered, to the east or to the west, when fate began to lower, I solace till she was to me in sorrow's lonely hour. Though tempests wrecked my lonely bark, and they rend the quivering sails, one maiden form withstood the storm. It was the Rose of Allandale. Sweet Rose of Allandale, sweet Rose of Allandale, one maiden form withstood the storm. It was the Rose of Allandale. And it's when my fevered lips were parched on Africa's burning sands, she whispered hope and happiness and tales of foreign lands. My life had been a wilderness, unblessed by fortune's gale. Had fate not linked my life to hers, the Rose of Allandale, sweet Rose of Allandale. So sadly, I have a friend who recently lost their home to a fire, which was a very good reminder that we need to remember how lucky we are that we have what we have. And thankfully, no one was hurt. Him and his family are safe. But it was still very tragic. This was a house that he had built himself many years ago. And so much of any emotion that he had towards a sense of home was put into this house, which was taken away instantly. So I wanted to help him try and capture some of that memory. So I wrote him a tune. And I'm going to play it for you now, but I'm going to pair it with another tune. Hopefully you've learned during this series about the traditional music of Ireland and Scotland, how much of it is instrumental and was made for dancing. Dancing is what the social activity that people would have done in the villages and the towns. They would have gone out to the town center, and there would have been live music, and they would have danced, and that was a good time. So this is a type of tune called a barn dance that historically would have been very fast and bouncy, but I've slowed it down to really showcase the beautiful melody. I'm going to pair that with the tune that I wrote for Jeremiah, my friend, which I called Hands That Build. So I hope you enjoy these. This next song is a Scottish song. Comes from area near Glasgow, which is one of the biggest cities in Scotland. And it's one of my favorite little songs. It's about a beggar. And a beggar who loves being a beggar. And the whole song is just about how wonderful that is. And all the things that take them through their day and why it's so great. One thing that's cool about this song is it was originally written in Scots, which is one of the native languages in Scotland. It's not spoken very much anymore, but there are lots of people who are working to try and bring it back into the culture and have it be spoken more. So there are some words you might not recognize in this song. Some like a wab o hodden grey. And what a wab o hodden grey is just a piece of cloth that you will use to make a cloak. There's something that they say called down the brae. Going down the brae is a bit like going downtown. It's about like going where all the activity is. So it sort of has to do with the typical geography of a city. And they have, it's like a bridge or like a walkway by the water down the brae, but it's sort of a symbol for all the activity. So you go from where you live down the brae to your job or your activities. And then another one, you might hear the word ken. And to ken is to know. So if you ken something, you know what it is, you know about it. If you ken somebody, you know that person. It's very simple. So this is a song called To the Beggin'. Of all the trades I do ken, the begging is the best. For when a beggar's weary, he can sit right down to rest. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And I'll go to the tailor with a wabble hot and grey, and I'll bid him make a cloak for me to help me night and day. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And I'll go to the cobbler, and I'll bid him sort my shoes, an inch thick to the bottom, and clothe it well through. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And I'll go to the tanner, and I'll bid him make a dish, and it will cost 3 halfpence, for it cannot well be less. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And I will find my lodging before then it grows dark, when each good man has done his day and new home from his work. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And when then I begin my trade, I'll let my beard grow strong, nor pale my nails each year or day, for the beggars wear 'em long. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. And if begging be as good a trade as that I hope it may, it's time that I was out of here and headed down the brae. To the begging I will go, we'll go. To the begging I will go. If you've ever been to Scotland, then you'll probably know that, well, it rains a lot. In fact, it rains so much that we make jokes about it. I happen to like the rain, and so I find it quite nice. If you also like the rain, I'm sure you'll love it there, and if you don't, then it might not be your favorite place. But that is connected to this next song. This is a song it's not a traditional song. It was written recently by a man named Chris Trevor, and he's Scottish, and he's sort of coming to terms in this song with the fact that where he grew up, where he calls home, it rains and snows constantly, and he never left. He never went somewhere warmer. You can sort of get a sense for how he feels when you hear the line, "Thank God for sunny weather, it's only once a year." So that should give you an idea. This is a song that I recorded with my band Cliffs, and it's called Mark the Hard Earth. Shines down from its heavenly throne. All the people lying on the ground like lizards on a stone. Thank God for sunny weather. It's only once a year. Colder winds, they break them, and winter brings their tears. God put me here in this field full of snow, with the dark sky above me and the hard earth below. It always feels cold, it's always the same. I made my choices, and I'll shoulder the blame. I'm standing in this field. The sun beats down so bold, and even though it's real, I know that it's not gold. There's no reason to complain. The season always takes me to when I first felt low. The season always makes me. God put me here in this field full of snow, with a dark sky above me and the hard earth below. It always feels cold, it's always the same. I made my choices, and I'll shoulder the blame. Well, me, I like rain on a gray afternoon. The sounds on my window, they lighten the gloom. It's never so still as when rain's falling down. The silence and darkness, they steal old souls' crown. Well, we've come to the last song in my virtual concert, and indeed in the virtual concert series for the summer. Before I sing it, I just want to say thank you all for passing the time with us. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've learned a ton about traditional music, and maybe even that you would be excited to learn more. If so, I encourage you to look around. There's information everywhere. There are songs everywhere, in books, on the internet. And if you have questions, you can feel free to ask me. I would love to answer your questions, actually. I can't wait. So you could reach me by commenting on the video here below, or you can go to my website at ericmcdonaldmusic.com, and you can reach me through there, and you can also see all the recordings I've made, both with myself and with my bands. I'm in many bands. If you like the music, and you can, it helps musicians a lot right now if you buy CDs, because we can't go out and work. So anything that you like and want to purchase would be appreciated. And it's all traditional music, so there's lots to explore. I want to make sure also that we thank all of us, Kate and Fran, for keeping the community strong, keeping it together, and working incredibly hard to bring you a massive array of online content. It's miraculous what they've been able to do, and they deserve and need all of our thanks. So thank you, Kate and Fran. I couldn't think of a better song to close the series with than the Scottish anthem of change, rebirth, reflection, and distant connection, all of these things. Auld Lang Syne. We sing it every year at New Year's Eve to usher in the new changing year and changing life, and reflect on everything that's come before, and that feels very appropriate for right now. So if you know it, sing along, and if you don't, see if you can learn it by the end. So stay safe and well, everybody. Thanks again, and here's Auld Lang Syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot for Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. We two have run about the hills and picked the daisies fine, but we've wandered many's a weary mile since Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. We two have paddled in the stream from morning sun till dine, but seas between us broad have roared since Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Here's a hand, my trusty friend, now give us a hand of thine, and we'll take a right good willy what for Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, and we'll take a right good willy what for Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne.